do what you saw there in Palmer Lake with some blinding.
We don't know what the weather is going to be like around here. I do get really anxious during storms.
That's why they chose HailGuard. When performance leads, confidence follows. Backed by the first and only asphalt shingle system with a hail warranty.
That just gives us more peace of mind.
This is the only asphalt product on the market that has the manufacturer warranty targeting the hail damage, and it gives me a lot of confidence as a contractor.
Engineered for enhanced impact performance. Built to protect homes and reputations. HailGuard shingles. Built for hail.
All right, crew, Matt Meister in the Peaks to Plains Severe Weather Center here on this afternoon, and severe storm coverage on Peaks to Plains Weather is made possible by Tamco Building Products and their HailGuard shingles beyond Class 4. We appreciate you being with us here this afternoon. This severe thunderstorm warning, which is a new one for over the eastern plains, is for wind. We'll take you via Tamco Live Radar. Out across the far eastern plains, you see a storm there just to the northeast of La Junta along Highway 50 with a severe thunderstorm warning on it. This is for Bent County, for extreme northwestern Prowers County, and southern Kiowa County there to the south of Haswell, kind of off to the southwest of Eads, until 6:15. Now, there's very heavy rain falling with this storm, but the reason that this was issued is for wind and for some potentially very strong wind. I'm going to loop this over the last 30 minutes, and I'm going to stop this, and we're going to look at a couple of things here. All right, so if I take you back to 5:30, you can see here a developing downburst, and you see some brighter colors there that have now kind of given way to some less intense colors. Well, as this downburst was coming down to the surface, let's measure some of the wind here that we were seeing in the radar. 75 miles per hour. Some of the other gusts in this area running close to that. And then as this downburst came down and started spreading out, you lose a little bit of activity. But the other thing that's happening here is we are looking higher up into the storm the farther east we go with the radar from northeastern Pueblo County. And so we lose our ability a little bit to analyze this. I'm going to take it back even a little bit farther here to 45 minutes. And I'm going to make this go really, really slow. And I want to move this just a touch. So this is as the storm was kind of coming out of the Los Animas area. And we were doing live coverage a little while ago, watching this storm weaken as it moved toward Los Animas. If you remember, off to the southwest of Los Animas, there was a pretty significant hail core with it that fell apart as it moved into town. And then a weakening phase of that updraft is sometimes that's when you see these downbursts develop. And you can see that plain as day here, kind of moving across the Los Animas area. Some of the strongest wind was probably off to the east of Los Animas by about, let's say, somewhere between about 5 to 10 miles. And then kind of along and to the north of Highway 50. So we will see if we end up with any damage reports from this area. We don't have any that I am aware of as of yet. But we have had 1.16 inches in La Junta that's fallen in the last hour. So if you aren't dealing with the strong wind that's associated with this storm, and we could still be getting some gusts between 50 and 70 out here, you're still getting some of the heavy rain. And notice that the heaviest rain is off to the north of Los Animas right now. We've got a storm outside of Ordway as well. And so if you were driving around this area this evening, if you're about to leave work, if you're about to head out for some activity at church or something like that, just be aware that we have seen some really, really heavy rain. And I want to show you with a data set that calculates a little bit faster here. Let me do the last hour. You can see where in just the last hour, these brighter greens is where there's been more than an inch of rain. And that matches ground truth that we've had in La Junta. It also matches a lot of the other storms, what we've been seeing out there today. Lots of the storms are putting down around an inch, as we knew would be the case. Some of them are putting down more than that. We've had some places that have had more than 2 inches of rain. So it's fascinating to see the feast or famine. And that's just how thunderstorms work. You all know that, right? Like you could miss out by a mile on a storm that's putting down an inch of rain. And so if you miss out, it's just bad luck, I guess, right? So this severe thunderstorm warning, the strong wind has kind of been moving out in advance of the storm in this way. That's why the severe thunderstorm warning is kind of issued off to the northeast of the storm. So be aware, all these areas that are out here. Los Animas is kind of on the back end of the storm. You aren't going to see the strongest wind with it. It's already kind of moved through your area. But McClave, Wiley, some of the other areas that are out here, you guys just be aware. And some of you are like, these aren't towns, but people in the area know that some of these locations are homestead areas. That were registered with the government. This is a government data set. And so some of those still show up in here. I think it's kind of cool to see, or may have been a small town when early settling was happening, and they're not really anymore. So if you're between Highway 96 and Highway 50, there's some strong wind out there. It's probably not 70 miles per hour anymore, but certainly worth letting you know about that and making you aware of that for sure. So this severe thunderstorm warning, as I said, is in effect this afternoon until 6:15. It's off to the east of Los Animas. It does include McClave. As I told you, the storm is moving to the northeast at 20 miles per hour or so. So if we grab kind of where the strongest wind would sort of be here, it's kind of moving up toward the Eads area. These storms off to the west are actually a little bit stronger in terms of maybe some hail, around a half inch, perhaps 3/4 of an inch in diameter off to the northeast of Ordway. But we'll keep our eye on all of that. One other thing we were watching this afternoon was this storm here that's off to the northeast of Lyman. Kind of developed right along Interstate 70. There's some construction ongoing to the east of Highway 287 where it comes into Lyman from the Hugo area. And I want to show you an issue that we are still having out here with this storm, because earlier, and it looks like they've cleaned up that accident now, actually. Yeah, I was going to show you a semi. We had Interstate 70 that had a closure on it, and we were watching that with some traffic cameras that we've got in the area. Right now with this storm, there's still some rain ongoing in this area. I can show you that here. There you go. We do still have that accident that is in full effect here. They've got 2 semis to try to clean up. So this is on Interstate 70, just to the east of Lyman. You can see that we are still not moving westbound traffic. So, some of these folks, these trucks trying to make it into Denver or through Denver via Lyman and then coming into town south of DIA and all of that. And you can see that the rain is picking up there right now as we are looking at this live. This is the rain that's moving through this area. So there's a stronger cell that is coming up from the south here. So this accident is about 2.5 to 3 miles to the east of this overpass, about right of where that 2.8 miles is. And look at what's happening there right now. Just as we were talking, this heavy rain coming up from this cell to the south moved into this camera. Again, 2 semis have been involved in an accident here. Interstate 70 westbound is not moving. And now all of the first responders are just dealing with some torrential rain in the area. And that looks like what a lot of these storms are doing this afternoon. So look at that. They're zooming the camera out now, trying to get a little bit better perspective at the CDOT control. But my goodness sakes. So here, I'll just take you back and forth. Like, it's just adding insult to injury, right? So, man, I hope the first responders got in their cars for a little bit. Some of them probably didn't. They've got work to do. I know that they continue to do the work. And, obviously it's high priority getting the interstate open there. But this core that is just to the south is in the process of moving over this accident. This storm is moving off to the northeast. It's not severe, but it's moving off to the northeast here, is crossing Interstate 70 right now, and we're looking at that live together on what is an accident that has westbound Interstate 70 closed. So that's pretty fascinating to see, of course, via the CDOT cameras that CDOT has up across the state. And it's one of the reasons that, we built something to help us monitor this here in real time. And so now there's kind of scanning to the west. The visibility a little bit better. I don't see any traffic coming on Interstate 70 there, so maybe they temporarily have it closed to get that semi kind of moved out of the median that's there. But what a big time mess that is. My goodness sakes. Feel bad for the first responders, don't you? I mean, holy smokes. Being out and trying to work in that. Yeah, Jen says, wow, I'm with you. That's pretty fascinating. Gosh, man, we got amazing first responders in Colorado. So I want to take a couple screen captures of this. So hold on a second, my friends. Let me do this here. I'll grab a couple of these, so allow me a moment. Just want to do that here together. Get that saved. And then let me do one more with the radar here. Let me pull that back up and let me grab another screen capture. I mean, just to see that timing together and how quick that changed, wasn't that? I mean, it's immediate, right? I mean, you've experienced that, and that's how it goes with these things. Crazy. All right, save that. Okay, thank you. Thank you for humoring me. So we've got that we're watching. That's rough for those first responders, obviously. The severe storm is farther off to the north, but that one's been picking up some intensity for sure. Crowley County and the northern and sections of the county right now, kind of along and east of Highway 71, north of Highway 96, into southern Lincoln County. We're getting the redevelopment of some storms. Also getting some storms to redevelop here across El Paso County now. We've got a real big outflow boundary that is coming back toward the hills here. And that may, when it hits the foothills, kind of wake things up for parts of the area that have been a little bit quiet this afternoon. We'll keep watching that. That thing has been moving west and is associated with all these storms here that have been out over the plains this afternoon. And it does have a little bit more surface moisture with it than some of the other air that we've been dealing with this afternoon. So we'll keep a close eye on that between now and about 7 or 7:30 as that keeps moving to the west. It's not too far away from Interstate 25 now. The heaviest rain moving back off here, still certainly impacting that area on Interstate 70 to the east of Lyman. But again, that is not a severe thunderstorm. That's just a storm that's been strengthening. But there are definitely some cells out here worth watching. So a severe thunderstorm warning for some strong wind gust potential continues for northern Bent County, southern Kiowa County. That is in effect until 6:15, so we've got another 3 minutes with that. So I'll just hang with you here, and we'll see what happens. We don't have the signature of the strong wind that we had a little while ago, and actually the outflow from that, if we loop this, looks like it may have quickly raced off outside of the warning. Yeah, you can see the outflow now is way up in this area. So we're still getting some rotation in there with this storm that's not as strong as it was a while ago, but some very heavy rain falling in there. So still heads up in that area. Severe thunderstorm warning continuing here for another couple minutes. I haven't seen from the Weather Service yet if they are going to expire that. My hunch is they probably are. And when they do, we will end our coverage here. But I'm going to watch this outflow boundary over the next little bit. Watch this as it has been moving westward across northern El Paso County. In fact, there are a couple outflows there. You can see one dropping southward off of the Palmer Divide, and then this big one here. Looks like there are a couple that have kind of caught up to each other. Right behind the intersection of those outflow boundaries is where you have some air in the southwest flow coming up and over that, and that's what's developed some of those new thunderstorms here. We'll watch these kind of what are now dying updrafts here, but those may be enhanced by this this outflow, when it moves back toward the hills. So we will keep an eye on that. It's just fun to do this stuff with you. I hope you enjoy it and you find it useful. The rain this afternoon, man, if you've gotten it, it's been really, really good. Those of us that have missed out have missed out. It's been pretty quiet. Kind of in the cities here, and other parts of the area have done well. The bright green that you see is where an inch or more of rain has fallen this afternoon. We had some flash flood warnings earlier for the Aspen Acres fire. Heaviest rain was kind of on the east end of the fire, which mitigated some of the impacts here a little bit. It had some real heavy rain between Rye and Colorado City on 165. There's still a couple of flash warnings, as you can see, off to the east of Denver, and some other pockets of some heavy rain out there. So I'm a little bit surprised by this one, I'll be honest with you. But they did issue a new warning for this cell. So now kind of extends a little bit farther to the east and a little bit farther to the north into Kiowa County here. And this new one is in effect for McClave, areas off to the north through 7 o'clock for the potential for some wind gusts that are near 60 miles per hour and perhaps some hail around 3/4 of an inch in diameter. My hunch is we won't see any hail of an inch in diameter. I think it's going to be lower than that, but Neosho Reservoir, Sweetwater Reservoir, Hasty are in this, Negranda Reservoir, Queens Reservoir, Kiowa, I'm not sure how to say that one. You're all included in this. So this is mainly to the north of Highway 50 here. This storm, I think, is going to collapse over the next little bit. That's one of the reasons we might see a touch of wind there, but we'll keep an eye on that. We're also going to watch these storms here, kind of along Highway 71 to the north of Ordway. Those ones might actually be a little more likely to produce some hail than the one that has a severe thunderstorm warning on it, but we're kind of splitting hairs there. So, and then there's another really strong core going up right on Highway 94 here in eastern Lincoln County that we will watch. So it's still busy out there this afternoon and this evening. I am going to make a social media post here about this outflow coming back toward the hills. So, my friends, that's it for this coverage. If you are in the area, McClave, across northern Bent County there and southern Kiowa County, just heads up, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning until 7 o'clock. We'll keep an eye on that for you. I think your biggest threat is some wind gusts between 50 and 60 miles per hour. And we're watching this outflow boundary that is moving back toward the plains here, or toward the cities, I should say, from the plains. That's what I meant to say. Crew, you were on Peaks to Plains Weather, our weather together.
This is John May, General Manager of Petrale Roofing, up on another customer's roof doing a free 21-point inspection. If you'd like us to take a look at your roof, give us a call today, 719-375-8773. We'd be happy to take a look and see the condition of your roof. Petrale Roofing, we're a Diamond certified TAMCO installer, which means we can offer a industry-leading 25-year workmanship warranty to give you peace of mind in the storm. Call Petrale Roofing, 719-375-8773. Schedule your free inspection today.